Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, Solful Vegan Eats. This channel is centered on vegan and plant-based eating and overall holistic health. In today's video, we are doing a spin on one of my favorite childhood snacks growing up. If you'd like to see what I'm talking about and how it came out, keep watching. Okay guys, so let's hop right into this recipe. Now today I am super excited to share this with you because growing up I personally loved those intimate little bites. Unfortunately, those packaged snacks are loaded with preservatives and other junk fillers, so they're not the healthiest option on the market. So today we're creating an equally delicious yet healthier version of a childhood classic. So in order to get this recipe started, you're going to want to grab 2 overly ripe bananas. Now they don't have to be overly ripe, but I do suggest leaving them until they have a few black or brown spots. That's when they're at their peak sweetness, which makes for amazing baked goods. To my 2 bananas, I'm adding about 1/3 cup of applesauce. Mine was homemade, but I've used store-bought in the past and found that there's no difference. I've also used cinnamon flavored and regular. Again, there's no difference. Just use what you have. So once you add your applesauce, you're going to want to mash your applesauce and banana together and make sure you fully incorporate those 2 together. After that, you want to add about 1 teaspoon or 2 of vanilla extract and 1/2 cup of coconut sugar. Now, you don't have to use coconut sugar, but you know on this channel how we get down. We use what we got. That's what I had on hand, so I used coconut sugar. You can use brown sugar or you can use cane sugar. Either shouldn't matter, but I believe that coconut sugar is a little bit healthier, but it is equally delicious and sweet. So 1/2 cup of sugar, whatever type of sugar you have. So after fully incorporating the sugar, applesauce, bananas, and vanilla extract, you want to go back in with the masher just to get out any extra lumps and bumps that may still be there. Now this part is not going to be completely smooth of a consistency, but you just want to get out any extra large lumps and bumps. So because I have a sweet tooth, I went back in with about 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar. You don't have to do that, but because I'm extra and I like my sweets sweet, super sweet, I went back in and added that. Trust me, the recipe does not need it, but once again, I'ma do me. Okay, so you do you, boo. And always be sure to taste as you go. Because I wanted to make this recipe relatively inexpensive and of course easy, and most importantly accessible, we're going to use oats as our base. Now if you prefer to use oat flour instead of pulsating the oats yourself, you can surely skip this step. So what I did was took 1.5 cups of traditional rolled oats, be sure that they're not quick cooking, and I pulsed those in my food processor until they became fine like a flour. So as you're blending, be sure to periodically check the consistency of the oats. Now, being that this is supposed to be our flour base, you want to get it down as smooth and fine as possible. A little texture is okay, but make sure that you're checking for any major lumps or chunks that may still be in the oats. pulsated your oats into the flour-like consistency that you desire, you're going to take your oat flour and dump it into a large mixing bowl and continue to add all of your dry ingredients. I'll be sure to add measurements and a full ingredient list in the description box below. So to my oat flour, I will be adding baking powder, baking soda, cinnamon, nutmeg, maca powder, which is optional, ground flax, and sea salt. I'll be sure once again to leave the measurements down in the description box. Now, as I mentioned before, maca powder is not necessary for this recipe, so if you don't have it, don't fret. However, I love the combination of cinnamon maca together, so whenever I have maca around, I love to throw it in things. Also, maca is really good for energy, and ladies, go look up some of the health benefits of maca. You'll thank me later. So once everything is combined, give it a good whisk to make sure everything is fully incorporated and set that to the side. And now we're going to mix our wet ingredients with our dry ingredients. You want to be sure that everything is well incorporated and there are no dry spots or lumps or chunks in the batter. And now for the add-ins. So of course I did blueberry because I used to love blueberry little bites, and I really do enjoy the flavors of cinnamon, maca, and blueberry together. However, you can mix it up at this point. You can add nuts, you can add seeds, you can add chocolate chips. You can do you. So after we've gently folded our blueberries into the batter, we are going to put our little bites into a silicone baking tray. Now I will be sure to leave a link in the description box below to where you can get a silicone baking tray like this one. Using the silicone baking tray like this one made removing the little bites super duper easy. I strongly recommend using something like this. So like I said, I'll be sure to leave a link in the description box below. So be sure to set your oven at 350 while you're filling up your baking tray. Once your oven is fully preheated, you're going to bake these little bites for about 10 to 15 minutes and then take them out of the oven and let them rest. Now, being that I only had this one baking tray, I had to go through this process twice because this recipe yields about 26 little bites. My container only holds 15 at a time, so I had to do 2 batches. And guys, not only is this recipe kid friendly, the kids love them, and you're gonna love them too. They're convenient, they're delicious, and they're very inexpensive. And as you can see from this video, super duper easy to make. Now if you have a cooling rack, it would be best if you put them on a cooling rack, but I don't have a cooling rack. I just put them onto a regular baking tray just so I could use my silicone baking pan again. So once I let them rest and cool and I removed them from the tray, I just repeated the process and used up all the batter that was left. Creating this recipe was such a pleasure, and it was such a nostalgic experience because growing up I used to love these things. So this recipe is amazing. It's super easy, super affordable, and these things are freezer friendly. So even if you don't get to them right away, you can pop them in the freezer and they'll last for weeks. But trust me, they won't make it that long. Thank you guys so much for joining me again. It's been such a pleasure to make these videos and have you guys tune in every week. And a special announcement, I finally reached the 50+ subscriber threshold. So thank you guys for your unwavering support. It means so much to me. Now, this is the end of the video, and I just wanted to say, as always, stay soulful.